What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and fellow hobbyists out there? Welcome my friends to On The Bench with Pete, where you get to hobby along with me whilst painting, whilst we're painting up our models, we're getting our stuff done, getting things off the shelves, off the benches, off the work surface, wherever you've got to do your hobby. And today I'm very fortunate because I've got a day off, so enables me to get another day of getting my bench cleared. Of course, I'm doing Imperial Fists right now, amongst other things. I've got some Space Marines and various terrain bits and bobs. Still got my dead ringer. Still got a bit of a throat, but that's okay. I've got loads to talk about, so grab your glues, brushes, models, paints, cup of tea, coffee, whatever you need. And prepare yourself for about an hour of painting. I've got an idea I'm going to be putting out there as well, and a question and a bunch of other stuff to talk about. So let's just go. Right, so here are my Imperial Fists thus far, the ones I've got with Tor Garridan here. The wonderful gift my good friend Mifos Kushinaga got me for Christmas. What a Christmas present this was. Really made my Christmas. I did, you know. I'm just looking him over thinking, wow, look at all this stuff. It's on him, you know, the detail. It's amazing. So I'm going to leave him to one side for a moment. Concentrate on these guys. Because what I was doing last time, as I recall, I was doing their pouches, but before I get to that, I've thought of something else. The Tactical Space Marines. I've got some arms. Actually, I've got 3 arms. I've got a head, so that's good. So this means, folks, I've got stuff. So, and I've got some bolters here. Well, that's going to be interesting then. Right, let's get going with this guy first. So I'm going to want these arms and this bolter. Gonna want a bolter. Yeah, so how are you all? Hope your projects are going well. Let's zoom in a bit more, shall we? A bit more. There. I got these bits from eBay. I've got some Blood Angel bolters, but these aren't Blood Angels, or at least they're not going to be. They're going to be, they're going to be Imperial Fists. So I'm just clearing up some stuff here. Wow. Just clearing up these spares I've got. You know, it's becoming more expensive buying these as bits than it would be to just, buy a box of ordinary Tactical Space Marines, I feel, at this stage. But I've come so far down it now, and it uses up the last of certain bits and bobs I have in the box. Although, yes, I've accumulated a few more, probably more than I would have liked. But you never know when you might need them in the future, right? So, it's all good. It's all good. I know I said about doing the Imperial Knight, and I will. He is going to be constructed during an On The Bench session. He is. But I can't do that until I have cleared what's on my bench first. And although what I'm doing now technically isn't clearing, because it's extra stuff, it's enabling me to, doing this enables me to then get on with my stuff that is on the bench, and you get the idea. Then I can clear it. Right, arms. I remember arms. I've got to get my shoulder pads in order as well. But we're approaching the end game with this one at least. Besides, I'm going to get a box of Space Marines as well. And I think I was deciding this, or I had the embryonic idea that I was going to paint up one Marine from each chapter at some point. Not every single chapter, that's but the main ones. So obviously Ultramarines, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, you get the idea. And have them on a display shelf. I think that would be neat. Black Templars, yeah, I just think it would be neat. I really do. So what I'm doing, I'm just cleaning up the sprue lines on one of the arms here right now. This is good. Just going to put a bit of a cut indentation in that arm. When I first started modelling, arms used to be very problematic for me when I was building Space Marines in particular with the gun, because I wasn't really aware of how much wiggle time I had with the glue. I just didn't know. But now I have more experience with it, and it's not a problem. I still struggle with certain models like Necrons and things where I'm not going to say that, and I'm not trying to find an excuse. I'm not saying that they're complicated, because I'm sure they're not to the person that knows them. But when you're not used to them, I find them complicated. I'm more used to Space Marines. Much more used. Right. So there we are. So I'm just cutting some, see what I'm doing here. Just cutting some lines to where I want the arms to latch on to. Just to help the cement take hold there. And now do I got to glue the hand? Yeah, I'm going to glue the hand, or I'm going to glue the hand of the bolter to his arm. That way it will make wiggling it around that much easier later on. So that's just what I'm doing at the moment. So right, so just popping that there, and just going to pop a bit of glue here now. So right, so I'm just holding the gun to the arm, like so. That way, be able to do that whilst I'm waiting for that. Let's get the head out of this bag. It's a big bag for a head. You order some spares and you get like, they come in a massive big jiffy bag, and a big plastic bag, and it's like a head or a arm. Yeah, it's quite funny really. It's pretty funny. Alright, so just bear with me whilst I go through this. I suppose I could lift that. You could see me doing it a bit better there. want to get like a smart camera tracker on tripod that they must do one that you select what you want it to focus on, like say the model, and as I move it will move and track me wherever I move, within reason. That would be good. I bet they're a lot of money. I bet they are. But that's okay. Right, so how are we doing with his oh, that ain't bad actually. Let's see, that's not bad at all. Right. Putting a glob of glue on this. So we're building in this one. And you can do it. You can pop the glue on for a while first if if you think that helps. It starts to melt the plastic, doesn't it? Yeah. We liking this. We is liking this. It's been a while since I did Space Marines. I forgot how much fun they were. Won't be able to put the other one on just yet. These are just ordinary tactical space. And then of course I will need to get the shoulder pads on. And that's good. That is good. Then I can crack on with my other Space Marines, or Primaris Marines at least. So what? I'm gonna have some coffee because I'll just focus on him. Focus on him. I'm gonna have some coffee because I've got some stuff I need to talk about. I need to talk. And it's about Patreon and on the benches. Now I do a series on Patreon for the patrons, obviously, called Painting with Patrons, which is it used to be just a more high definition version of this. And have no adverts, of course, and hopefully I was a bit more with it. So I'll try and do them when I'm feeling really well. It's not always possible, but my patrons are an understanding bunch. They understand, and yeah. So doing that. But now I'm wanting to know a question. Well, I have a question I want to know the answer to. Would my patrons, if any of them are watching this, would you be interested in a slightly longer painting with patrons? Maybe like an hour and a half, whereas I only do an hour here, or just under. Sometimes a bit less. It's up to an hour on the bench. Would an hour and a half suit better? I don't know if I could go 2 hours. I don't know. I really don't. But I could certainly go for the hour and a half. Or at least an hour and a half's worth of footage, and then time I edit that down. Do you know what I mean? I just let me know your thoughts, because I really want to know if I can do something more for the patrons, because they are paying after all. I mean, I'd like to think of going back to 720p for these, but it would make life a lot easier if these were in 720p, because of the rendering time it takes. and then just stick with the HD stuff for the patrons. But all other videos are in HD, of course, and some, like tutorials, are in higher HD. I'm going to try and sip a coffee in a minute. Trying to get my thoughts out here. There'll be another series starting soon again as well, to do with Aliens, the role-playing game by Free League Publishing. Because I've got myself the Colonial Marines Operations Manual, that's right. And I want to go into that. I've also managed to pick up myself something up really cool, which I've been after for a couple of years now, casually. And that's Lost Patrol, the board game by Games Workshop. I've really wanted that one for a while. I'm just going to pop my heater on for a bit, actually, because it's cold. Well, this will heat things up a bit. Yeah, so that's I've been after that for a while. Now I have it, a pristine copy as well, I hasten to add. Right, how's this arm looking here? Oh, it's looking good. Right. Now, I'm going to pop some glue on there. Going to pop some glue on there. And gonna perfect. That is perfect. Amazing. Yes, that's what we want. So he's holding we've got arms. He's holding a gun, and he's gonna be mean. He's just an ordinary tactical. He's not a Primaris. But he's looking good. Right. That is looking good. Okay. I'm just going to score the base where his neck goes into his power armor. And then put a drop of glue in there. Just a small amount. And this dude is obviously got no helmet. Yes. Haha. Yeah. Yes. So there he is. So far, I just need to put his shoulder pads on at some point. Right, so we'll let him start drying over there. That's awesome. Okay. Now I can go back to my Primaris Marines, who I was working on last time. Now, I think they've all got front pouches to do. Yes, they have. Yes. So what we're going to do... Alright, so this is going to take a little while. Okay. So, using coat arms, light grey. Nothing fancy there. Just give that a bit of a shake. A bit of a shake up. I'll put a drop of drying retarder in the palette too. Because, do you know, I think I'm done with this glooping brush. Da, 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 da. Yes, getting rid of it. It's gone. It's gone to the great paint studio in the sky. So I was opening paint pot with my teeth, which is not a good thing to do. Drying retarder, because those lighter colours, they do dry out pretty quick, and some water to thin that down. Alright, so yeah, that's good. So what do you think about my my plan? My big plan. It's gonna change the world. No, painting with patrons. Do you think patrons? They should. I mean, I think they should have a bit longer. But do they want longer? Do they want longer? Do they want shorter? I mean, I doubt they want shorter, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Do you want shorter? But do you want longer? I mean, yeah, you want. I'm sure you do. I mean, I don't know about going back to 720p for this series. It's just I always film playthroughs and things like that in 720 because you don't really need it. But then I'm thinking we don't really need it for this, do you? This is primarily a background video, and I'll be honest here and straight up. I haven't noticed any difference in ratings since I've upped the quality of the videos for these. So I'm seriously considering just reserving that for the patrons, because as I've said before, you know, they're paying, they deserve it. So I will put this one up in HD. But after that, I don't know. I just don't know. I've got loads of pouches to do here. My goodness. This is where snakebite leather, you see, is going to come into its own. Contrast paints do have a good use on painting of this nature. My wife started her new job today. Well, technically she started it 2 days ago, but she was on a course. But today is the first proper day in her new role. And she seems to be loving it, which is good stuff. I'm I'm a bit envious of because I want to be in there, but you know, I'm working towards it. I'm trying my hardest to do that and fulfill that dream. And yeah, it would be good. I've actually applied for the role that she used to do, so I mean, I don't know if I'm up to it because she's good. They'd be big shoes to fill, I tell you. Am I up for it? I don't know. I'd give it a blooming good go, though. I really would. I'd do my all. I'd give it my all. That's all I can say. Right, so pouch is ready on him. Put him to one side. Right, some will have more to do than others. I think these first couple I picked up, yeah, they got a lot more to do because I was in the middle of doing them last time. That's right. And I can't remember what it was. Not an emergency as such, but my wife needed help with something, which, you know, I had to stop and go and do that because, you know, that's what you do. You know, I'm going to be a dick and say, oh no, I'll wait till I finish my video. I mean, we'd done the time allotted pretty much anyway. But, yeah. So there. I'm bringing back Topical Tuesdays as well. And a bit of snippet for you, if you haven't noticed already. Well, by the time you see this, you should have noticed Topical Tuesday. It's not every Tuesday, but on a Tuesday sometimes. Now, it replaces Q&S, because in Topical Tuesdays, or the topical in that series, I was just picking a topic and talking about it. Well, I've decided to kind of little bit go back to my Q&S roots, and I'll be asking a question too, and talking about. So I'll be asking a question and asking it of myself too, and filming it. I like videos like that. I like doing them. I like to do them. I've implemented my new rainbow colour drawers into the studio. I haven't got rid of anything else though. But it has tidied it up a little bit. Right, so that's another one done. It's tidied it up a bit. But yeah, need a lot more tidying, and things need to be tidy a lot more before I can get back to setting up for my role-playing games, which I'm missing. I am missing them. I'm going to be looking to set up a table and play a game with my Imperial Fists once they're done, and possibly my Astra Militarum. Decided I want to get my hands on a Bane Blade sometime, because I just love the look of them. I just think they look awesome. But need something a bit more terrifying on the bad guy front. I could really do get myself a Hierophant or something, but I don't like working with resin, so that's probably not going to be a thing. I've seen videos where you can make your own out of other plastic kits, but yeah, not for me, I'm afraid. And the same with Necrons. I need to get something a bit more scary in my Necron army to take on all comers. You know, why would my Astra Militarum guys want / need a Baneblade? I think Chaos might do it, because they got some, well, Chaos Space Marines, because they can use armor as well and tanks as well. Just thinking, maybe. Orcs, I haven't seen any of the new orcs, but the ones I do know, they're just not scary enough. They're too comedic. It's gotta look scary. Gotta look scary. Right. You're doing good here. Glad I did the rest of the pouches last week or last time, whenever it was. I don't know, the weeks go by so quick. Don't they go by so quick? Yeah. I really need my days off this time, my 2 days off. I didn't have a very good week at work, I'll be honest with you. That's not to say anybody was like horrible to me or anything, but the content I had to deal with was just, it was horrendous. It was appalling. How people can behave that way, I just don't know. Obviously I won't and can't go into it, but I find it disturbing, very disturbing. But yeah, there you are. That's human nature. Horrible, horrible people. That's him done. Now, has Tor Garridan got any pouches he needs basing up for? It doesn't look like it. That's good. That's very good, actually. He's got some lines there. Nearly there. We'll just do a bit of a touch up later on. Yeah, it's not bad. We can work with that. We can work with that. Ready. Now, let me look at Tor Garridan's. Aha. And of course I dropped the box. Only an empty box. Right. I'm just doing the lenses on this. I don't know what it is. Like a tracking device thing. Thingamabob. This is going to be a base coat. I'm going to paint it blue. I want it to be bright, you see. And same goes for that. There. Right. Yeah. Looking good, sir. Talk about grimdark. Yeah, he's all good too. Excellent. Right. Okay. Right, said Fred. Right, go back to this chappy here. Let's look at shoulder pads then, shall we? Wow. Well, I'm gonna trim that one down a bit. Like you do. They're getting hard to find now, tactical Space Marine spares. Okay, glob. It's a glob of glue. On there. We'll do the same on the other side. Sticking plain shoulder pads on now. My Blood Angels are a real mixture. They've got all sorts on. All different classes and marks of armour, all different chapters as well. It's crazy. They are literally the army of spares. But that works for their backstory for what I wanted. Right, there he is. One tactical space marine with a bolter gun. Ready for the Imperial Fists army. Let's pop these back. Let's get rid of that. Don't need that. Yeah, that was pretty good. So in a way, he's off the bench. But I've got an arm here. Don't know what to do about him. Really? Better put him in with the guns. Don't want to lose him. It's a right arm. So he's there. Right, so that's that away. And that's that away. And that's that away. Okay. Now let's think about what I'll do with this guy. Let's zoom out a bit here. Right, so I need to work on this guy's base, which is just a coffee mate lid. I just cut the middle bit out. Makes a good base, don't you think? Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to use some Vallejo. Is it Dark Earth? Terra Oscura? Dark Earth. Chocolate sauce. I always think of chocolate sauce when I open these things. Okay, so start putting this onto said base. This is how I'm doing it. This is how I base my Imperial Knights, actually, with this stuff. It's absolutely brilliant. Can't recommend it enough. It's absolutely amazing stuff. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, let's get that in there. Yes, once he's based, it'll look really good. And you would never know. You'd never know it was a coffee mate lid, or part of one. Yeah, so I'm bringing back, well, I'm going to be doing some videos for Topical Tuesday with a question. Because, you know, I like talking, and I'm going to be doing, hopefully, another podcast episode for my patrons as well. That's going to happen. I want to have a definite subject to talk about when it comes to that, though. You know, I just want to plug in my microphone and go. Oh wow, I want to have a script. I shall script. They're scripted, my podcasts, so you know, a little bit better for you. The only trouble with scripting is you don't know how long it's going to take. What I mean is you could write pages and pages and pages and think, oh, that's going to go on for ages, and then read it in 2 minutes. It's like, well, that's a slight exaggeration, but you know what I'm saying. I think you know what I'm saying. It would take you not long at all. And you'd be like, oh. Watched X-Files last night. It's the one with the satanic teacher. And then there was a bit of a cult going on. I don't know if you remember that. That's yeah, it's quite worrying, really, the things that go on. I know it's only a program, but a lot of those episodes are based off of real cases, aren't they? So yeah, it kind of makes you wonder. And that sort of thing goes on, and it does. I know it does, but all that satanic rituals and goodness knows what else. But yeah. Oh, I got season 3 of Cobra Kai arrived the other day. I ordered. I know I'm currently watching season 4, but really rationing it out because I don't want to get for it too quickly. And then I'll be left wanting, oh, I need to get that series. There. It's the base for him. Done with the Dark Earth, so that's good. That's very good. Loving. I've got another LED light, by the way, like the one I got in here. I've got 2 actually for the bedroom, one either side of the bed. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Really good. And yeah. Right, so coming back to these guys again, we could work on. I had an idea about the chain swords. Doing the teeth black and the metal silver. I don't know how that would look. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm in the fortunate position of having a chainsaw here. I'm going to prime it. Yep, I'm going to prime it up. This is an experiment, so don't panic. It's just an experiment. So I'm going to quickly prime this up. Pop it to one side. Actually, I didn't use that much primer, so I need to pop it back in. I'm terrible with that. I take out, like, I'm terrible when especially when it comes to varnish. I always use too much. And I don't mean to. I hate wasting paint. I know people probably scream at some of my videos going, why don't you use a wet palette? I've got one. It's over there. I'm not the hugest fan of wet palettes. I like using them sometimes. For the most part, I don't. Depends how I'm feeling. Ugh. Got the army painter one. There. I just they get messy real quick. That's the problem, I think. Right. Okay. Is that done? That's that done. Oh, I've got this guy as well, haven't I? This priest guy here. Yeah. These are the figures like from that remind me of my childhood in a way. They do. I'm going to paint his rope in the light grey that I was using for the pouches on the Imperial Fists. I'm not zooming back in yet. What I'm going to do with these is I'm going to pop an Agrax Earth Shade probably over the top. I could do a Seraphim Sepia wash. Could do that, I suppose. But these figures remind me of Citadel miniatures from back in the day when I was a schoolboy. And the world seemed a much nicer place. Oh, for being young. At least I had a good childhood. I'm one of these lucky people. Had a really good childhood. Yeah, it diminished slightly when we came to Plymouth because I didn't want to leave where I was. I was happy. I didn't understand, you know. I just wanted to stay with my friends, you know. Did not understand at all. Still, I got the opportunity of going back one day. I had some coffee actually. Love my coffee. You know, you guys know that. Zoom back in again, Jimmy. Zoom back again. Where am I going with these guys? Well, I suppose I could look to doing the purity seals, couldn't I? Now, if I did them red, that would be the red element. Because their shoulder pads are not going to be red, because they are not going to be third company. Tor Garridan, on the other hand, he might well be. He might well be. Ooh, dear. Excuse me while I bend down to retrieve my box. Okay. Now, that's right. So I do white. Or actually, a Reichland flesh shade, I think. Yeah, Reichland flesh shade. There we go. Tor Garridan and this chappy here. Right. Okay. So I'm popping that onto his face. I'm not going to put it on his hair though. Put it on this guy's head as well. That's that. Okay. Well, Mephiston Red is the obvious choice for purity seals, isn't it? Do I start with the wax seal or the like the parchment, not the parchment, yeah, the parchments themselves. I'll go with Rakoff. Rakoff flesh? No, I don't think so. What looks more like I'm holding out paints at the moment. I think a deepkin flesh for the parchment. I think I'll do the wax seals first. And this is good. Just going to check my phone momentarily. Got to phone my mum today, actually. Oh, I've sent me some funny stuff there. Oh, sorry, I'm just answering her. Right, I've got to phone my mum later because I haven't phoned her today. I phone her every day. Sometimes she phones me, but she never knows what I'm working these days. To be honest, I don't know myself. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, so let me talk about Lost Patrol for a bit. I'll tell you what draws me to it. What been drawing me to it. Jungle based, cool. Space Marine based, cool. Well, Scouts, so kind of. And the Gene Stealers, so it's kind of like Predator, isn't it? That's how I see it. And the evolving tile patterns that you get. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's a simple game. Just from what I've heard. Just something easy to pick up and play now and again. And this raises another question to me, actually. Right, I'm just painting the wax seal for Tor Garridan. Now, yeah. Have you noticed on a lot of the box games for GW, when it comes to a side, if it's like there's two factions or whatever, the Space Marine one is usually Blood Angels. Look at Space Hulk. I think Space Crusade. And now with Lost Patrol, the box art is, again, Blood Angels. I wonder why that is. I mean, I'm going to paint the ones I got with it as Blood Angels, but I'm going to do some others as well. I want different factions. I want to do some Imperial Fists, of course. I might do some Ultramarines. Who knows? Who knows, right? Right, so that... No, nearly. So forgive me here. But I want to get this right. Yeah. Tor Garridan's Purity Seal. This one. I'm sure they don't all have Purity Seals on them, but this guy does have I've seen, because I've not played a game in a couple of years. I've seen pictures of Primaris Space Marine Scouts. Is that a thing or not? Was that just daft pictures on the internet? I've only recently been looking for them because I like Scouts. I don't know, there's something about them. They've got great character. I think they're brilliant. I have some Scouts, as you know, and I've painted them generically to fit in any faction. But you know that was kind of a cop out because at the time I just couldn't afford to do that. Whereas now I'm in the fortunate position, yeah, I can. So a much better paid job. And I can do these things, so yeah, I can do that. I like to do some Marines with the red Purity Seals. I like to do some Purity Seals with Screamer Pink, some with green. You know, I think it's great. It'd be cool. I should really come up with some lore of what they all mean. They're basically like medals, aren't they? Medals of honor, really. I want to base my Imperial Fists with real traditional basing, though. I want them to have sand bases, basically. Well, he doesn't have any seal, but he does. Yeah. So sand. Then I will probably paint the sand up. Yeah, so there you go. There you go, Joe. There. Look at that. Looking good. Okay, do you have any Purity Seals? No, he doesn't. Got some other golds to do as well. For these guys, always got Purity Seal. Or brasses for the ends of the holsters and pouches and leather things, like the gun holsters. So yeah, so we've got that to do. I've got my curtains open in front of me. There's no sun, but I just wanted to see the outside world today, which is unusual. My cat and dog are still slowly integrating into each other's lives. It's a slow process. It's slower than I would have liked, but it is getting there. Cat's lost a lot more weight again now, so he's doing really well. He's doing really well. Yeah. Ugh. Oh, where are we time-wise? Oh, wow, we've gone over the hour. So, glasses off. Zoom out. You know the drill. You know the drill. You know the drill, dog. All right. So, done loads of work there. Thanks for joining me for another episode of On the Bench. It is a real joy doing these videos. I've said it many times, but I mean it. It is my favourite video series to film by far. I love it. I love knowing that, I know, only some of you watch them, but I love knowing that you do and that you're painting along as well in a lot of cases. And that makes me feel good. I feel good about that. And together we're getting stuff done. And it's a pleasure. Pleasure having you along. Anyway, enough rambling. I've got other stuff to do. I've got to ring my mum. I must go and do that. And I'm still keeping the fire on because it's still a bit chilly here. So thanks for watching. I've already said that. Consider checking out my Patreon if you'd really like to help support my channel. It hugely helps. You've no idea how much Patreon helps. Helps me keep motivated, being able to get things to tidy up the place or new supplies and things like that. Keep the lights on because electric is so expensive these days. Anyway, like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Either way is fine. Do one or the other though, it's fine. And I will see you guys on another video, but before you go, share it. Bye for now. Bye bye.